I'm Diana McCullum.
Hey, I'm Andrew Rodney.
And this is Fan vs. Fan for The Flash.
Wally's been having dreams about being a speedster. Memories of that life. It's okay to be scared, Wally. I am.
All Wally wants to do is help people.
Now you're getting powers.
The time has come.
He's in my head.
Wally was possessed.
No! It's all because I created Flashpoint.
You have no idea what's about to begin.
The Flash, all new Tuesday, November 15th on the CW.
All right, so let's get a little recap of tonight's episode. On tonight's episode of The Flash, we see Shade come and go as quickly as turning on the lights. H.R. Wells gets a new face. Wally is trying to get the powers that he feels he so sorely deserves, and now Savitar, the god of speed, is here to throw a wrench in everyone's plans, and no one really knows where Julian is. That's what happened on tonight's episode of The Flash, but let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about pros. All right, pros for tonight's episode. Diana, what did you like?
I liked Savitar, and that was only the last 10 seconds of the episode.
Yeah, that was the last 10 seconds of the
a lot
episode.
to discuss.
Yes, yeah.
But I thought he was really cool. I wasn't expecting to meet Savitar this episode.
Okay.
Thought it looked good. I liked the idea that, like, he's so fast the others can't even see him.
Okay, yeah.
That to me was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just a badass.
That, like, only Barry can kind of see, like...
Yeah, even
the
Barry seemed like he
little bloop, bloop,
couldn't
bloop.
see him, though.
Yeah, like, couldn't, like, see him. No.
Yeah, that's
no.
pretty fast.
That's very fast.
It's too fast.
That's... Whoa.
Where do we go from here?
Oh, boy, that's quick.
Oh boy, that's quick. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I love his design. He looks a little bit like Sauron from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a recycled design. It's a little bit of a mashup of kind of 9 different characters that have previously been. There's nothing really special or unique about it. But just like in concept, it's really scary. Just the idea
scary,
of
yeah.
that person who's so fast that only the Flash even catches a glimpse.
Yeah, and I think the full body armor really like gives you the vibe of I'm the god of something. Whereas if it's just like a dude and you can see skin and you
It
know
does
he's a
add a little
guy.
bit to like a Greco-Roman vibe to this whole thing of being like, you are ready for battle. He dressed up. He prepared for war.
Yeah.
Keep your head on a swivel.
It also
you know how it
kind
is.
of reminds me of like the Thor guys, like the Destroyer and stuff. You're
It
like,
does.
ooh, that's gonna be hard to beat.
Well, that was also kind of like one of the Boro design elements that I thought it felt very much like. That I was like, it does have a little bit of a Destroyer vibe to it, for sure.
But yeah, I think he's cool. I'm excited for him.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if I need another speedster villain. I was kind of excited that Alchemy was going to be like the main villain.
I get that. It's nice to have like a more cerebral, like kind of like just like scarier intellectual villain who's changing the world as opposed to just like run Barry run again.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
I will like Savitar a lot as long as there are no time remnants. If there's
sure.
a goddamn time remnant
Yeah.
in this show.
If we can just stop goddamn time traveling, if there's more Flashpoint stuff going on, ugh.
Yeah, I thought Savitar isn't...
Right.
He sometimes time travels, but he's not big on it.
He's not the time travel villain.
No, he's not that.
Yeah,
time.
yeah. So that's nice.
The last like 15 seconds I saved this episode for me.
Okay.
What about you?
Okay, I liked the relationship between Wally and Joe the whole episode. Like, I like that Wally does have his own wants and desires, and even though I don't necessarily associate with those wants and desires a lot of the time, he's still very reasonable about it, which I appreciate. He's a character who does not necessarily align with what all of my concerns and goals in that scenario would be, but all of the decisions that he makes are still make sense to that character. The relationship between him and Joe stays true. When Joe reaches out and connects to him and he accepts that, but he's still dealing with his own stuff. I think he, as an actor, he showed that really well in this episode to be like, I do feel that you're conflicted, but you still respect Joe, that you don't actually believe some of the things that you're saying in terms of your attacks towards them. That's you lashing out and you know it. I thought it was a good performance. I thought it was good relationship building on everyone's parts, and I thought it made a lot of sense for the character development.
I thought performance-wise this was all really good. I thought Joe was the best dad as always.
Best dad,
He's
yeah.
Such a good
Yeah, still best dad.
Still best dad.
Still best dad.
I only liked Wally for about half of this.
Okay.
For the half where he was like, yeah, lock me up, this is definitely alchemy, I was like, you're crushing it, Wally. But for this first half where he was like, this isn't wasn't anything like those alchemy people, even though they were like, this is exactly like the alchemy people. They had dreams first, then he like changed them, and he was like, no, it's nothing like that. You just don't want me to have powers. I'm like, you're just being like stubborn for no reason.
Well, it was irrational, but they reverse engineered that, which I really liked.
No,
that
I
it
did
was
like
it
once
was
he started-
irrational, and once it started like kind of unraveling, then it was like, no, I'm being stubborn. I'm in denial. This is me saying whatever I need to say because like this is the thing that I want. Meeting everybody in the middle. It did start out from an irrational, unlikely, and stubborn place, but I do like that it evolved or devolved and unraveled from there to something that I'm like, I like where your character is at now.
I get what you're saying. I guess he had to go somewhere, but I'm just thinking of like in the Jessie episode when she had powers, she was like great the whole time.
Right.
And for this, I was like, oh, you're annoying for like half of this, but but as soon as you started getting on board with everyone, I was like, go Wally, yeah.
Okay. It still made sense to me, and I thought it was a pro. I liked the dynamic. I liked the relationship. I liked the performance. I'm all about Wally in this episode.
You're
Big pro
all
for me.
about Wally, all right.
Yeah,
Well,
all about Wally in this episode.
I'm 50% Wally,
All right.
100% Joe,
All right.
and yeah, mostly everyone else did great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good start to the Wally character as well, to get your powers from like that like haunting, like being pulled towards it, and then there's going to be that internal guilt when no matter how your powers play out or how your attempts at heroics play out, you're always going to have that internal guilt of being like, I was beckoned to this, I wasn't in my right mind, I didn't necessarily choose this life. I think it's a good setup for where this character could be as well.
I think the bigger guilt is worrying about getting your powers from a villain.
Right.
I think I'd always be concerned about what it actually means and if I'm actually going to be a good guy. If I got my powers from a villain, I think that actually will be really interesting.
Yeah, it's a complex start. I like it. But what are people in the chat saying? I know.
People are really digging the look of Savitar,
Okay.
armored sort of look.
Yeah.
Elios Sakia saying, I think that's why Rival's costume is so sucky. They focused all of their creativity on the Savitar.
Alios said the Savitar look was good, so Rival was bad, so Savitar was good.
They were spending all that time on Savitar. Yeah.
I get that, because Rival did look really silly.
Yeah, Rival definitely looks
Not
silly.
really
I agree with
silly,
that. I
but,
agree with
like,
that.
Considering a guy who got, like, 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't look amazing for, like, a Rival speedster.
Right.
And all the other speedsters have looked so good.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Zoom and reverse flash.
I agree.
Freaking amazing.
Now with Savitar, it's some borrowed. As we discussed, it's some borrowed design elements, but it's all design elements that work, that function. They repeat in a lot of designs for villains in different projects for a reason, and it's because they function, they're scary, and it works. I think my biggest concern with Savitar's design right now is a really shiny, really glossy look, which usually ends up looking as very cheap CGI in movement and in motion. So I'm a little bit concerned how this is going to play out as the season progresses. Be like, that can be a character that looks really bad the more time you spend animating it, because it's pretty much a CGI character, and a more matte finish, a dirtier looking thing that doesn't have reflections of every surface at 900 different angles is such a more simplistic animation. So it's a bit of a dangerous it's a dangerous area to venture into.
I get what you're saying. I also think the shininess could be a problem. I think more of a problem could be how big he is.
It's a pretty big
He's
man.
Huge.
That's
His
a big boy.
hand is the size of Barry's chest.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's a
actually
Barry-sized
thought-
hand.
I thought he was an alien at first.
Okay, I see what you're saying
Yeah,
there.
he's not usually an alien. Maybe he's an alien. I
Well,
don't
that kind of goes back to the like
know. Maybe it's Gorilla Grodd with speed.
a little bit of the Destroyer kind of like vibe
Yeah.
from a Thor thing. Yeah, yeah. We got nothing else going on for the pro section.
Zachariah Deering saying that Caitlyn coming out as a meta is a real pro for him, and people
Yeah.
really liking the scenes between her and Cisco.
Sure. Zachariah Deering, was it?
Yes.
Yeah. I Zachariah Deering, I agree. I do like Caitlyn becoming Killer Frost. Her character had become a little bit stagnant as just a very passive scientist who doesn't really add to the team previously. But
Especially without Ronnie to pine after. Yeah.
but on alternate Earths, I've always liked her as Killer
good on
Frost.
Alternate Earths.
Killer Frost is a big pro to me. I kind of need the show to move her in that direction a little bit faster. I think it is taking a little bit too long to get her there, a little bit longer than it took Cisco to kind of accept vibeness. I
don't think so at all. Cisco took way longer
Yeah?
than this because he was getting flashes like really slowly over time. He thought
That's
he
fair
was dreaming
too.
at first.
That's fair too.
I think Caitlyn's going at a good speed. I'm also
Okay.
excited to see her be evil. I
right.
do think she's a much better actress when she's Killer Frost and she's
Yeah.
more interesting.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be kind of like the same as maybe we're going to see from Wally, because she's very aware that these powers make her evil.
Right.
And she's got to deal with that. The outing scene was interesting to me because it wasn't Cisco's secret to tell, really.
It did kind of make Cisco a jerk.
Not really, because even Caitlin says you had no right to tell everyone I'm turning evil, and I'm like, you should tell people you're turning evil. That's a thing people have a right to know.
I guess with the turning evil thing.
I saw the future and you were evil.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
I saw
you
the future and you were
about.
attacking me. I guess that is a reasonable.
Yeah,
I was thinking of it more
powers.
as a just the power thing.
That's her secret.
You're selling me on that. You're selling me on that one. You're selling me on that one.
Just a quick last one. Sir Titan is saying that his pro was that Iris can throw a punch.
So Titan, yeah, I agree. I thought that was dope. I really liked that Iris clocked him out.
Yes, I also liked that Iris clocked him out. I even liked that little conversation about how she wishes she had powers, because I like that I feel like she definitely would wish she had powers a lot, but I like that she doesn't make it part of her character. She doesn't whine about it. She just brought it up casually in conversation, and then she decked her brother, because you thought she was doing something stupid, and then she did something totally right. Yeah. And I was like, this is what I wanted out of Iris.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a real flawed, weak moment, but instead, just a good duck too, because she ducked his swing and then clocked him out, and that was a nice one too. Like the moves. I like the moves. Well, that's enough of what we did like. Let's talk about what we didn't like. Let's get into the cons. All right, so cons for tonight's episode. Diana, what didn't you like?
Shade was just kind of waste of space.
Oh my God, Shade, why were you there?
Oh my God. Because there was this was all just relationship building.
Shade had 2 scenes.
He had 2 scenes.
2 scenes.
I have no idea what his motivations were, who he was. I don't think they named him.
Oh,
we never saw the actor's face.
Yeah.
Who does that guy he killed? Who was that first person?
Because usually in a villain of the week, you at least get and they're mad because the hospital wouldn't give their child treatment. So now all doctors in the city must die for their wrath or something, anything. But this was just he's made out of shadows. Oh,
whoa,
boy.
Anything could happen. And they also were so inconsistent on how to fight him. Because at first they're like, oh, he's vibrating so fast, he's creating a shadow. So it's phasing.
They're like, we need to figure out a way to slow down his vibrations.
And then later they're just like, light will destroy him.
Well, they do say in the van, last second, there's been no forming a plan this whole episode. And then last second, just in the van, they're like, light slows down vibrations. And I'm like, no. And if that was your plan, if you figured that out at some point in this episode where no one brought this up, why did you not have a more powerful light? Why are you hacking into car headlights? There was no authority to the villain of the week.
And with Barry being a speedster, he would be the perfect person to fight a person who's stuck phasing all the time.
Yeah.
I have to reverse phase. I have to stick him in a tree and make him stop phasing. I don't know, something like that. Something that isn't anyone with a flashlight could do.
Yeah.
Awful
nonsense.
Awful
really
villain.
stupid. This is a big problem that Flash has been having, which is villains of the week, where it's they're so focused on the seasonal arc, who's the big bad, and it's what's happening on this week's episode? They're just some idiot. Who's the big bad this season? And I'm like, no, you got to at least give me something for this Tuesday.
75% of your episode can't be shitty because 25% is about the mystery of the season. And also, this is the 3rd season where we have a mystery villain. Why are they always mysterious and shadowed and a big reveal?
And it's just such an insulting thing to do, to be we don't need to be good this week if we make you excited about next week. And I'm like, eventually, you've got to follow through and just do something. At least every second week, you've got to give me a villain that I'm like, oh no. You've got to give me at least an oh no. Every second week. That's not too much to ask.
It's not too much to ask.
I don't think I'm being unreasonable, to ask for just a mild concern. The other week was a Godzilla hologram that didn't really do anything. No one was worried.
Nobody, but we were all worried about this Shade guy for no particular reason. And he's nobody. Is he going to get his powers back with the lights off? I have so many questions about Shade.
They just handcuffed him and he was done.
He could have been such a better villain. Because I love this guy in Justice League animated shows.
Yeah, really
He's
good.
the guy in the top hat and the monocle.
He's a much more fancy gentleman.
He's a very fancy gentleman. And this was just a blonde dude.
Yeah.
Not even sure. And I just that was such a disappointing element.
Well, and they can't keep escalating it like this by not having any kind of a payoff. They can't be oh my God, Rival is the one, but not really. What about alchemy? And don't even worry about his scimitar. be like, you can't keep upping the ante by not giving us something. Eventually, you can up the ante, but you got to give something. And there's nothing.
Yeah, I really need a better focus on our villains of the week. It's gonna...
What was that fight at the end? Like, what was that fight with alchemy? They just walked into a room, and then the show writing was just like, what if they just didn't walk into this room? Screw this whole scene. Like, they really just, like, didn't bother with the showdown, with a big bad battle, with, like, a large climax. There was SWAT teams and Joe and rushing in, and then it was just like, forget alchemy ever existed. Done. Forget about it. That character is over. Is dead to everyone.
Like, I actually didn't mind the fight scene. I thought it actually built kind of nicely. Like, lasers, stones,
it was
Savitar
like
shows up.
A couple lasers and Savitar shows up. It really...
That's all I need from a weekly battle show, but like...
But, like, they've been building up alchemy. And it's just...
He's not dead.
Yeah, he might as well be. Like, he didn't do anything. He didn't have any... He was just like, and that's the end of my character. He literally kneeled out of frame to just give up this show. And it really, really bothers me that they do not care about these villains at all.
I think I don't think he kneeled out. I think they're like a team-up villains. And he was like... Or he's like a cult that worships Savitar because he's the god of speed.
Okay.
So I actually think he was like, my god's going to attack you now.
Sure.
Was what I got. That part didn't bother me.
I feel like you're making a lot of leaps and transference there.
At all. I think that part didn't bother me at all. I actually thought it was cool to be like, this guy's coming.
Sure. I feel like we're barely going to see Alchemy the rest of this season.
Well, we'll see.
I feel like he'll get like 3 scenes and he's done.
Okay. We'll see what happens.
Lots of agreement in the chat, guys. Everyone had problems with Shade, and they weren't big fans of that final fight. But A. Michaels and Morgoth and Zach Smith are all wondering, Dr. Alchemy is Julian for sure, right? Like, that's...
I don't even care.
People are asking if Alchemy is Julian for sure. I don't know, because, like, it seems so obvious. He's got the same name as the character in the comics. Well, like, one name off. But, I don't know. He's supposed to be on a date with his girlfriend. Maybe they lost track of time. Like, there could be, like, a legit reason.
Who cares? Is my flat-out answer. Just, it's Eobard Thawne. It's Jay Garrick all over again. It's the same writing device they boringly use. They're making it so obvious it's him. It's not going to be him. Scimitar is going to be Julian. Or we're just never going to see Alchemy or Julian again. Like, flat out, just who cares? None of it matters. The second they give us an answer, the show is going to be over in 3 seconds. That's where I'm, like, at with villains in this show. To be like, it doesn't matter, because if next episode ends with Alchemy going, I'm Julian, bye, we'll never see him again, because nothing matters with these villains in this show.
Okay, I think that's a little pessimistic. I actually I enjoy trying to figure out who's who and what's going on. I still enjoy the little mystery about it.
Right.
I think I still am naive, and I'm like, maybe this season it won't be bullshit.
Right.
People are agreeing, and they're saying that maybe the show is running out of decent villains to use at this point.
I mean, like, I think almost any villain can become a decent villain is the thing.
Every villain can be a decent
Like, when you
villain.
find what's interesting about that villain and elevate them, that's what's interesting. Like, the Joker has no powers and is just a guy who likes anarchy, and he's, like, the greatest villain of all time. Like, you can find what's cool about a villain and make it work.
And I think all it really requires is just dedication to that villain, where I think, like, the biggest flaw of the show is that, not that they're running out of good villains, but that they're panicking with good villains. To be like, do you like this one? No, okay, well, don't worry about it. Like, it's there's no confidence in the writing to be like, let's let this villain sit, let's let it linger, and let's make this villain scary or a threat. It's very much a, like, is this the one? Is this the one? What do fans like? And it seems like just throwing so much out of a bag of tricks that at no point did you ever really do a trick. At no point was there any entertainment value there. Like, there's just a fear of committing to a villain.
Alright, I don't know if I agree or follow that, because, like, they commit to the villains throughout the season. I mean, like, the weekly villains?
The weekly villains, yeah, sure, why not? But even once, like, the season villain gets shown, it's over. It's over before it really begins.
Okay. I mean, I'm not, like, super entertained by these villains yet, but I'm willing to... Yeah, I feel like I'm in a perpetual waiting game. Like, I'm gonna leave them another week, but I say that every week.
Yeah.
Daryl Vega and A. Michaels What the hell happened to Wally? Is he stuck in that pod? What is that pod? What's going on there?
Okay, Dale Vega, A. Michaels want to know Wally in the pod. Well, I assume this is how you get your husk, because everyone they found who's a meta, they found husks of the person first. So you have to go into a cocoon. So I assume it like phases you with the other timeline.
So they enter a penis pod. And then
it was a mushroom.
It was a mushroom?
Clearly a mushroom.
It was just a phallic mushroom. I'm sorry.
A little phallic mushroom.
Just a mushroom with a large stem and just a smaller top. But yeah.
But I mean, I don't know if it like changes you into who's from the other timeline.
Sure.
Or if he's alchemy, so he changes things in other things. So he just alchemies you to the other version of you.
But also, why are we worried about this Wally thing? Because he's just changing people in the Earth 2 version of themselves. At no point is he actually like changing the core of these people. He's just making them, and in Wally's case, that's just another person who would want to take down alchemy with super speed. That's another thing, like they keep building up this, like, oh no, and I'm like, oh no what? Why is this an oh no? He hasn't done anything to indicate that he's manipulating or changing these people as much as he is just changing them into the meaner Earth 2 versions of themselves, which is not the case with Wally.
I totally agree on that point. Yeah, Magenta seems like she was totally the same. Wally seems like he was still going to be the same, but with powers. So, that's just another speedster to fight alchemy. That concern didn't really land for me either.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, well, that's enough. That's enough of me, like, losing my mind right now. So let's get out of cons and go into Easter eggs. All right, Easter eggs for tonight's episode. What did you find?
All right, so for Easter eggs, one thing I really liked that HR said was that his Earth had a lot of gorillas. Now, this could be taken two ways, or maybe both ways. It either means he has a gorilla city.
Yeah, Gorilla City, which we love.
Love Gorilla City. Love Gorilla Grodd. Love all his gorillas.
Sure.
Or he has Gorilla City, and then he has even the other talking gorillas, like Ultra Humanite and Mishra Mala, who we also love.
Yeah, he wears a beret.
We're big fans of Mishra Mala on this podcast, on this show.
Yeah.
A lot of talking apes in the DC universe.
Yeah, there's quite a few. A few, yeah.
So
one's married to a head in a jar.
Yeah. HR comes from a really blessed Earth. A lot of talking.
Or maybe that's the Earth that this Earth sent their Gorilla Grodd to. Because remember when they got rid of Gorilla Grodd, they opened a channel to a random Earth, and there was a Gorilla City.
There was a Gorilla City there.
So this HR might be even where they ejected their Gorilla Grodd to.
Whoopsie doodle.
When he was like, Gorilla Grodd, and when he knew, it might have been Gorilla Grodd like plummeted out of the sky into our world
we were wondering
3 years ago,
from.
And it's been chaos ever since.
He's ruling it. That's why I wanted to leave.
He organized the gorilla army. Yeah.
Okay. Also in this episode, the new HR's idea is for the Star Labs to open a Star Labs museum. Now, this seems like a little precursor to opening a Flash museum.
Gotta open a Flash museum.
Gotta open a Flash museum. They already got that speed room now.
Yeah.
They already have cases with suits in them, so I definitely think we're gonna get, I don't know if like end of the season Flash museum, but we're gonna get a Flash museum. Okay. Yeah. It's gonna be great.
Definitely.
And Star Labs hopefully will eventually like fix their building too. Yeah. Because it's still a little ramshackle.
Sure-ish. I don't know. We see that one room and the other rooms. The timelines changed the rooms. Now they have test rooms and stuff like that.
Yeah, they got the speed room.
I think the building's good again.
No, the building's still got that big hole in it.
There's a big hole in it still?
Yeah, every time they do a wide.
Okay.
And then another little one, Harrison Wells says the money on his Earth is called Helbings. The Helbing brothers are actually screenwriters for the show. They've written a bunch of episodes of The Flash.
Yes.
So, like, a nice little nod. I don't know if they wrote this episode. Conceded if they did. I didn't check that. And then, if you're just curious a little bit about Savitar, he is a speedster who was in a plane crash. He absorbed some Speed Force energy. He's really interesting because he can actually, like, absorb speed and then put it on other things. So, like, if that's just on the table, he can, like, give it kinetic energy and fly it across the room, like telekinesis.
Okay.
And, he can slow down other speedsters.
Okay.
So he's dangerous. That's about it for this week.
Okay. All right, so that's what's going on with Savitar. What's going on in the chat right now?
Ail Sakya has a good observation about Wally's narration at the start. It was a lot like the Jeff Johns, Mark Waid stuff, like the Kid Flash narration.
Oh, okay.
It seemed a lot like Barry's normal narration, but maybe it was similar to the Jeff Johns narration. I can't think of that one off the top of my head.
I can't pull it in my head either.
But
I believe you. I'll take your word on that one. Yeah, I'm not going to challenge you. Live your life. No one else is going to tell you to. You know.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Anything else going on, Will?
That's pretty much it.
All right. So that's it for I think for us for our fan v fan.
Yeah.
You should follow Dorkshelf on Twitter at Dorkshelf and tweet along with us with the fan v fan hashtag every Tuesday.
Absolutely, and be sure to subscribe to Dorkshelf on YouTube as well to get the notification when Fan v Fan is going live and to see the other great videos up on the Dorkshelf YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. And you can follow us on From Superheroes on Twitter or on our website FromSuperheroes.com.
You got it.
And we'll be back next week.
We'll be back next week. I'm Andrew Rodney.
I'm Diana McCullum.
It's Fan v Fan for The Flash. Pew.
Kicked him out.